Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. My name is ShelbyMarybeth. I upload a new video every single Sunday. It's cleaning, organizing, or decorating videos for motivation so that you can hang out with me, relax, or have fun. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing how we decorated for our son's first birthday party. The theme was first trip around the sun, and I had so much fun putting it together. So right off of our kitchen, we actually have a little coffee bar here that I put together, and I wanted to set up his whole dessert bar right here. So my husband helped me take down the top coffee bar part because it is super heavy, and now I'm putting up a backdrop. It is like a universe, stars backdrop that I got off of Amazon. So I will make sure to link this and everything else I got off of Amazon in the description below for you guys. So this backdrop comes folded, and there's a ton of creases that you can see if you don't pull it taut. So I'm pulling it as taut as possible, and I'm actually just securing it to the wall with some thumbtacks. So if you don't want to put a whole bunch of holes in your wall, you could probably try some command strips or something like that. But I just went ahead and used some thumbtacks. So now I'm going to be putting together the balloon arch for that area. And before I do that, I'm going to vacuum our entire living room. I learned my lesson when I decorated for my daughter's birthday, and that was to vacuum before blowing up a whole bunch of balloons, because we have a dog. He's a German Shepherd, and he sheds everywhere. So my daughter's balloons, I had hair all over them and I could not get them off. So vacuum your floor before blowing up a whole bunch of balloons, otherwise you're gonna have hair and who knows what else sticking to them. So I'm setting up my balloon pump now. This makes it so much easier to blow up the amount of balloons that you need for a balloon arch. So I would definitely recommend getting one of these if you are planning on putting a balloon arch together. It makes your life so much easier. It actually has two sides that you can blow up on. This one you press down and it blows the balloon right up, and then there's another side that blows simultaneously when you press down on that blue side. So theoretically you could blow up two balloons at the same time. I think you would definitely need two people to do that though, because I tried blowing up two balloons and it's hard to tie a balloon while another one still needs to be tied too, so it just doesn't work out. But anyway, I was also able to use the balloon pump for my foil balloons too, so I thought that was pretty neat. So this is the balloon chain that I like to use. Usually it comes with the kit if you're buying a kit off of Amazon. So this one came with this kit, and I usually just take one balloon and put it through each of the holes. So I try to stagger these ones as much as possible, trying to get the colors to be random and not just all bunched together. I also start more in the center of the strand so that I can put all the bigger balloons there, and then I kind of taper the ends. So I'll put all the smaller balloons towards the end, and then I will also use, I'll show them later, but most kits come with these little glue dots, and you can use those to tape the balloons to different areas of the balloon arch so that you can fill it in more, hide the string, or whatever else you need to do. So I'm just using this twine that I have that's pretty heavy duty. I don't think you really need too heavy duty of string, but I'm just tying a knot on one end so that I have a hole so that I can use a thumbtack to tack it to the wall. And that's all I use, is just two thumbtacks, one on either end, and that holds the balloon arch up. They're really not heavy, it's just big and awkward. So I've found that the thumbtacks are completely sufficient to hold it up. It's just getting it up there is a little awkward because of how big it is. So once I have my balloon arch up, I'm actually going to use just a little bit more string and a thumbtack to guide the balloon in the direction that I want it to go. I just wanted to cover up the edges of my backdrop a little bit more, so that helped with this. This big number 1 I got from Amazon. Of course, they have every single number 2. I'm using a little bit of tape to tape up that bottom area that likes to stick down, and so that it just looks more seamless. These are the glue dots that come with the balloon arch that I talked about earlier, so you can add all the smaller balloons to different areas, or this one came with all these foil balloons that I'm adding in now, so that rocket and different things. This is another kit I got off of Amazon, and it's just like this really cool banner, and it really tied my theme together. So it says first trip around the sun, and I'm just going to use, again, I'm using thumbtacks. I just find them to be so much easier when putting this together. Plus, I just have that big coffee bar thing here anyway, so it covers up all the holes that I'm putting into this wall, my poor wall. It's just like, how cute is everything so far? I was just like enamored with everything. I also have so many more treats and a few more decor things that I'll be sharing with you, so this video is just packed full of so much fun. Like, I do all these parties for my kids, but really I think it's for myself because I just enjoy decorating so much. It's just a great excuse for going a little bit overboard and decorating something new. So if you haven't seen our son's room, it's decorated as a space theme as well. So I grabbed this blanket. It has little rockets and moons on it, so I thought this was perfect to cover our coffee bar here so that it kind of matched the theme. And I am so happy with how everything turned out, but of course there is still so much to do. So to make his little smash cake, I'm going to be using these little dishes. I had used them for my daughter's like smash cake as well, so I knew these were going to be perfect. I'm lining them with a little bit of parchment paper so that the cake comes out nice and easy from the bottom of the pan. And then his cake I actually made from scratch, and this recipe is actually pretty simple and easy if you like baking. I love baking, and this is the most delicious cake recipe I could ever recommend. It's actually just Hershey's chocolate cake recipe, and that's all you would have to like search for on Google and it would come right up, but I will make sure to put a link for it in the description because I literally cannot recommend this cake enough. So just in case you aren't familiar with what a smash cake is, a smash cake is just for the birthday boy or girl that is turning 1, and it's just a cake they get to tear into by themselves. So this cake is a personal cake for Owen, and for everybody else I planned on making some amazing cupcakes. So I got these cupcake liners off of Amazon because they were the only ones that I could find that were black. So I'm lining all of my pans here and then putting my cake mix into all of these. So I'm going to let all of these bake, and then once they are done baking and they are cooling off, I'm going to set up a few more decor things that I'll share with you, and then we'll come back to these and decorate them. I decorate them all galaxy themed, so they turn out amazing. I love it. Cannot wait for you to see it. They're just so fun. So I don't think you can have a first birthday party without this banner, and this banner is for every single month from newborn until 12. You put a picture of them, basically you see them side by side growing up. So for month 1 through 12 you have a picture of them at that month in age, and then you can see them all together. So this one I had to like bring them all really close. For some reason they were spread apart really far and I did not have a wall big enough to like display this on, so I decided to put it right here on the fireplace, and I just had to bring them all really close together so that it would actually fit on here, but it worked out perfectly. So I have all my prints here, and I took a picture of Owen for every single month, and then it comes with these clips and it has a little sticky on the back, and you literally just put each of the clips on each of the months, and then you can clip each of the pictures onto the banner. And I cannot recommend this enough. I think it's so much fun to see how they've grown every single month right next to each other. It's just so cute. So this kit also came with a bunch of balloons, so I blew up all the foil ones and put it on top here. Now I'm going to be decorating Owen's smash cake and the cupcakes. So these are just a few of the things I got to do that. The cake topper was from Amazon, this cake board is from Walmart, and then I got a whole bunch of food coloring and just frosting and everything from Walmart as well. So I'm cutting off the top of the cake so that it is nice and flat so I can put the two pieces of cake together. And then I also cut off the top to make that flat as well, just to go for the look that I am looking for. So this is the frosting I use, the food coloring, and I'm actually going to be using 2 different food colorings for this just because I wanted to give it a little bit more dimension. It's just 2 different colors of blue, and I'm gonna frost it with just plain white frosting first. And this was a little harder to do than I think I anticipated. I'm not like an expert cake decorator, but I think the white probably would have looked better with like a vanilla cake, because I kept putting the frosting on, but the chocolate from the cake was getting mixed in with the frosting. But that was okay for the style of cake I was going for, because I was going for a galaxy. So I was already going to be using some blacks and blues, and it just kind of mixes together and makes it look like the night sky anyway. But I was keeping that white frosting pretty thin on there, and I'm just spreading it along the sides. Then I took the cornflower blue and I put that on the top of the cake, and then I'm just kind of smearing it over the sides. The other blue that I'm using, the dark blue from a Wilton like 4-color pack, and I will try to link all of these in the description just in case you're trying to find these things as well. But I really wanted just a little bit darker blue throughout, so I actually just dipped my knife inside the like food coloring, the cornflower blue, and smeared it along the top and the sides just to give it a little bit more dimension. So now I'm going to be putting sprinkles on, and these sprinkles are going to be kind of the stars in the sky. So the white sprinkles and this glitter gray or silverish color I got from Walmart, and I'm putting the glitter on first. I put it along the top, and I'm trying to sprinkle as much on the sides there, but I'm not trying to do too much. I didn't want to go too overboard. I just wanted it to look like a galaxy. So I'm taking all the little round circle sprinkles that were in that pack and putting it on the top and the sides, and then just making it look like little stars. But the sprinkles on the side, I found it easiest just to get my finger a little bit damp, and then I was able to dip my finger into the sprinkles and then it just kind of press them into the sides of the cake. Now I'm going to be making some universe pretzel rods. These are so fun. I'm melting some almond bark in the microwave, and then I'm using a skewer to kind of just dip in some of that cornflower blue in there. So I just kind of went up and down a few times throughout, and then I didn't mix it all together. And then I'm just dipping the pretzel rods into that chocolate, trying to get as much on there as possible, swirling it around a little bit more, adding a little bit more food coloring about halfway through, and they are so cool. I actually kind of made these on accident. I was just going to make it a solid color, and then as I was mixing in that food coloring, I was like, I wonder what it would look like if I just dipped it into that little mixture that I had, and they turned out so cool. So now I'm just sprinkling them with all the sprinkles that I had used on the smash cake. And then I also had these little stars. I've had these ones for a long time actually. Luckily, I don't think sprinkles really go bad, but I'm just placing some stars all around these little pretzel rods. And to finish them off, I'm actually going to kind of splatter some of the rest of the like almond bark that I had. I made it a little bit darker blue, and I'm just using a skewer to kind of splatter it all around. And before those splatter bark pieces dry, I actually take it off of the wax paper and put them like up on one of my like containers that I have. It's just what I found was a little bit easier. I think they might dry better if you have like a nice little drying rack to put them on so that they don't like ooze on the bottom, but I still think even putting them on the wax paper, they're super cute and they are absolutely delicious. So now I'm going to be making a few appetizers, and to cover some of the plates to make it look more space themed, I'm using tin foil. This plate was okay, I probably could have just left it as is, but I do use like a Christmas platter later and I just cover it in tin foil and then suddenly it's like a spaceship. So this platter is just going to be some cheese and crackers. So I actually took the time to use a star cookie cutter on some slices of cheese. I happened to get like sharp cheddar and Gouda and a white cheddar. So I just used a cookie cutter on all of them, and then the bits and pieces that were left that were not stars, I saved those so that I can put them in a homemade mac and cheese. So nothing is going to waste. I just was a little extra with this platter and made all the cheese slices into stars. Cheese and crackers are loved by everyone too, including kids of all ages, and even the grandparents devoured this. So #1 hit throughout all the rest of these. So I also do a veggie tray and a fruit tray that I will be sharing with you next. So you can see I'm covering that Christmas platter with the tin foil now, and this is going to be the veggie platter. So I'm going to cut up a whole bunch of veggies with stars and moons. So I'm cutting up a cucumber first, and then on the edges of it, I'm going to use a circle cookie cutter, and then that shapes it into a moon. I had all these pieces that were extra and didn't quite look like moons or anything, but they were still like good bite-sized pieces, so I decided to put those in a ring around the hummus that I have there, and then I'm going to put all the moons and stars on top of that so it'll hide them, but they're still there once all the moons and stars are gone, and this plate was devoured as well. So I'm also cutting up some carrots, and then this is a red bell pepper. I also get a yellow bell pepper, and I just cut those in a way that I could cut out little pieces of stars. And then all the extra pieces of this I'm saving for a stir fry. So absolutely nothing is getting wasted. I'm going to be saving all of it so that I can use it in different dinners. This platter I thought was super fun, and if you have some extra help, I definitely recommend putting it together, but my hands did hurt after cutting all these pieces with the cookie cutters that I have, so just be a little warned. I'm going to be making my fruit salad now, and this is going to be themed as well. So I'm cutting up a cantaloupe and then kind of filleting it. I felt like these looked like pieces of salmon after I cut them down like this, but I'm using the star cookie cutter again to cut out all the pieces, and then even the scraps for this I actually just put on the bottom of the bowl so you couldn't really see them, but they were still there. So once all these stars were gone, you could still like munch on those little pieces that were extra on the bottom. So I was thinking about cutting little stars out of the strawberries too, but decided just to dice them normally. I didn't go too overboard, but now I'm going to cut the stars out of the watermelon that I have here. So I'm just cutting them into like rings so that they're thin enough for nice bite-sized pieces once I cut them into stars. We are getting into my favorite part of this video, and that is setting up the dessert table. My absolute favorite part is when I'm frosting the cupcakes, but I'm just putting these pretzel rods into the mason jars that I already have. And now we are going to be making the cupcake frosting. So I have 5 different frostings. I'll link all of them below. There's a neon purple, neon pink, a black, and a dark blue, and then the cornflower blue. So I took 3 tubs of frosting and put them between 5 different bowls here. So each bowl has the same amount of frosting in it, or eyeballed anyway. And then I'm going to mix each of my food colorings into each of these bowls. So I used paper bowls and plastic spoons just for easy cleanup. But after I mix all of these together, I'll share with you how I manage to incorporate them all together and make little swirly universes with the frosting. So here is the tip that I will be using, and I am not a cake decorating expert by any means, so if I can do this, I know you can. So I'm emptying each of my different colors into their own piping bag, and these are these smaller piping bags. I'm actually not familiar with the sizes, but there's these smaller ones, and then I use like an extra large size one that's even bigger than them. So these are all in their individual baggies, and then I'm using a cup to kind of drape it over and then pour in my frosting. It makes it a little bit easier. So now that I have all them in their individual baggies, I'm cutting off the tips, and then I'm going to place them inside the really big bag. And they don't fit all the way to the end, but they still all come out at the same time, and then they make these beautiful swirls. I did this with my daughter's birthday party first. We had a unicorn sparkle party, so I did a whole rainbow with her cupcakes, and it was the same method. I just kind of perfected it a little bit more with this one. I used that giant bag and it made it so much easier. I was able to frost all the cupcakes with one go. When I did it with my daughters, I had done it just a little bit differently, and it took a lot longer. So if you're trying to incorporate colors together, I definitely recommend this method over the other ones. And I'm still going to be adding sprinkles and glitter to these to make it look like a starry sky galaxy. So these cupcakes are so fun. So the best part about the smash cake and the pretzel rods and these cupcakes is I'm using the same like glitter sprinkles and everything to make them. So I'm not like buying anything extra. It's everything that I've already had for the party, and it all just kind of goes together.
This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
I wanted to share the cute outfit that I got him. It has the cutest little suspenders on it, and I couldn't get over the little bow here. I also put up this sign on the high chair, and then I put the high chair right next to his dessert bar. So make sure to let me know in the comments what you think of everything, and if you are new, I hope you consider subscribing. I upload a new video every single Sunday for motivation, cleaning, organizing, decorating. We have so much fun, and you can relax with me, hang out with me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all next week in a brand new video. Bye!